now we'll discuss the resources on the basis of ownership. So let's start this one. So here, resources on the basis of ownership. 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 So here, first of all, there is a private resource. Private resource means you are the private individual. The private individuals are the owner here, like your property, your land, your plot, your house. So these will be all coming under the private resource. Now the second one is public resource. Public resource means one individual is not the owner. Okay, only one individual is not the owner. And here public resources you can further classify into certain types. Like here, the first one you can explain, that is, community resource. Community resource. So what is community resource? Community resource are the resources which are owned by the community as a whole. है ना? Community is the owner here, and one individual is not the owner. For example, if you are living in a colony, and in colony suppose there is a one park and a garden is there, so that park or the garden will not be used by one individual. The complete colony people can use that particular park or the garden, so it will come under the community resource. Now the next one is, we have national resource. So what is national resource and what is international resource? Now that all together I'll explain to you. After national resources we have international resources. Fine. After national resources we will have international resources. So these two things now I'll explain you together, national resource and international resource. Okay. So just for understanding this national resource and international resource, I am drawing here one diagram. So suppose this is the southern part of India. Okay. And here we have here we have Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, and Indian Ocean. So from three sides our southern part is completely covered, and that is why this part is called as peninsular part. You all know. So here now you can draw some like that. These are the waters. Fine. So here you can see in this particular national resource I am telling to you. So above that also we have diagram, but I am not drawing it because space is not there. Fine. So what is national resource? First of all I am explaining you. So national resource are everything that is under the political boundary of India. So this is the political boundary of India. Can you see here? This is the political boundary of India. Clear? Like that will be the political boundary of India. You can see here. Okay. So this is the political boundary of India, complete from north to south, east and west. This complete boundary, everything within the political boundary of India will be coming under the national resource. What I am telling you, everything which is within the political boundary of India, these are the political boundary of India, everything will be called as national resource. For example, the rivers are there, forests are there, wildlife are there. So this all will be the part of national resource. Okay. Apart from that also, this is the political boundary of India, and above after political boundary of India, up to 12 nautical miles from political boundary of India. Suppose this is the political boundary of India, from here up to 12 nautical miles. Up to 12 nautical miles. Nautical mile is the unit of measurement of distance in water. है ना? So up to 12 nautical miles from the political boundary of India will be also the part of national resources only, and this is called as national territorial region. What it is called as? National territorial region. है ना? So up to 12 nautical miles from the political boundary of India, this part will be also the national resources of India will be. Suppose here anything will be found now, so India don't have to take any permission, India can use it. Fine. Why? Because it is the part of India only, and this is called as national territorial region. Fine. Now one more thing is there, this is the complete definition of the national resources. So once again I'm repeating here, everything within the political boundary of India will be coming under the national resources, and from the political boundary of India up to 12 nautical miles, this particular distance, whatever things will be there, this will be also the national resource of India, है ना? Now one thing is there, suppose within the political boundary of India there is one particular plot that you have, है ना? That plot you have the individual ownership, so it will come under the private resource. So can government take over your private resource? Can government take over your private resource? So the correct the answer is yes. The government can take over your private resource if government has some policy, some program, some thing government has to make for the benefit of the larger mass. Okay, suppose government has to construct one canal or one highway which is passing from your particular property, which is passing from your plot or the land, so that particular plot can be purchased by government, and you will get compensation. Sometime people are getting job also as a compensation. So yes, the correct answer is in case of emergency the government can take over your private property also, private resources also, for the sake of benefit of larger public, है ना, larger number of public. Fine. So I hope this is clear to everyone. Now we'll come to the international resource. So what is international resource? So after this 12 nautical miles here, from here I'm telling you, from here up to 200 nautical miles, you take up to 200 nautical miles, up to 200 nautical miles, this particular area will be called as exclusive economic zone, है ना, exclusive economic zone. Okay, so exclusive economic zone, this particular from here to here, this 200 nautical miles area will be called as exclusive economic zone. So what is the meaning of exclusive? Exclusive means only for that particular objective only. What is the objective here? What is the target? Economic use. Only commercial and economic use will be there, and zone means area. This complete area country can use only for the economic purpose, trade activities purpose, है ना? So this particular area is known as exclusive economic zone. Only for the economic purpose this area can be used. Okay, up to 200 nautical miles. And after 200 nautical miles, whatever will be there, this particular area, can you see, this particular area will be called as international resource. So this will be called as international resource, है ना? So beyond exclusive economic zone, the complete area will be called as international resource, है ना? And this international resource is also called as no man's land, and not an individual country is controlling this international resource. The international bodies such as United Nations are controlling here, and if any country want to do any activity here, then they have to take permission from the international organizations, and if they are permitting, then they can use this particular area, है ना? One more thing I'm telling to you, in Indian Ocean now, beyond exclusive economic zone, means in international resource, India has applied for mining manganese, and India has got the permission also. So this is one thing that you must remember. So this is all about the resources on the basis of ownership. We have two types, that is private resources and public resources. Public resources further you can classify on the basis of community resource, national resource, and international resource. Fine. I hope till here picture is clear to everyone. Now the next one is, that is resources on the basis of this is, by the way, third one we were talking about. Okay. So the fourth one is resources on the basis of status of development, that we will see. The resources on the basis of status of development, the resources on the basis of status of development. Clear? So here we have again 4 sub points are there. So let's talk about the 4 sub points. So I'll explain you in a very simple manner. So here first of all I'll make the resource. Okay. Then there will be 4 categories. 4 categories will be, I'm writing here that 4 categories will be, first one is whether technology is there or not. Whether technology is there or not. Fine. Then the next one is you know you are willing to use in present or not, है ना, willing to use in present, willing to use in present. Okay, and the next one is completely you are able to use it or not, है ना, able to use it with full potential, able to use it with full potential, with full potential, with full potential. And the last one is example, है ना, and the last one is example. Okay, so 4 factors will be there, this you can see here. Okay, so let's discuss here. 4 points are there. The first one is called as here I am writing, the first one is called as developed resource, developed resource. So in case of developed resource, we will have what, we will have technology also, है ना. We are willing to use it in present, yes, correct, we are willing to use it in present. Use it with full potential, yes, we are able to use it with full potential. Why? Because it is completely developed. And here example, the best example will be petrol. Okay, the best example will be petrol. So petrol or coal, so this will be coming under the developed resource. Now the second one we have, which is called as potential. So potential resource we will see here. So potential resource, technology. So technology, yes, potential resource means you have the potential, but you are not using your potential in present time with full capacity, है ना. Like sometimes we are saying ना that you have great potential to be a great singer, fine, means you are not right now a great singer, but in future you can be. Okay, so here yes, technology we have, willing to use in present, yes, we are willing to use in present. Can we use it with full potential? Right now we are not able to use it with full potential, so here it will be wrong. And example, you can take example here, the best example here I can take is the solar energy, है ना, solar energy. So in states like Gujarat and Gujarat and Rajasthan, solar sunlight is available in plenty all throughout the country. It is available. So if we are able to convert those sunlight into the solar energy now, then we can be the global power in production of the solar energy. But right now, because of some affordable technology, we are not able to use this solar energy with full potential. So in future we will definitely use it. Now the next one is third one, that is called as stock. What is the third one? Stock. Okay, so here in stock now we don't have technology. In stock we don't have technology. Willing to use in present, yes, we are willing to use in present, but since we don't have technology, we cannot use it. Use it with full potential? No, we cannot use it with full potential. Why? Because technology is only not there. An example you can take, that is water, है ना, H2O water. So this water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. Both are the inflammable elements, but we are not able to use it commercially, है ना. We are not able to take use it for generating energy. So that is something which is very, very important. Okay, so here I hope this stock is very, very clear to all of you. Now the next one is the fourth one, which is called as reserve. Okay, fourth one is reserve. So in reserve now we have technology, definitely we have technology. Reserve now we are using, dear reserve, we are using for using it in a future time, है ना. We are using right now reserve. We are conserving it so that we can use this particular reserve in future. Understood? Like we are storing water in a dam so that whenever in future we require, there will be lack of water in nearby places, so we can release water from the dam. So what is the point here? That we are here reserving the resources for using future time. Fine. So here yes, technology we have. Willing to use in present? No, we are not willing to use in present. We are conserving these particular resources so that we can use in future time. Okay. Use it with full potential? Yes, we are able to use it with full potential. And example is the water is stored in dam, है ना? The water is stored in dam will be the best example of this. So I hope this fourth factor is also very much clear to all of you, that is resources on the basis of status of development. This both questions comes in board examination directly in 3 marks, है ना? So don't take it lightly, practice very nicely, and I hope this part is clear to all of you. After this particular part, I'll tell you about the development, of the resources, and about over exploitation of the resources, about the sustainable development, as well as about agenda 21. So these are something which is very important. So let's run the board and then we will discuss about the remaining parts. Okay, thank you.